Well, good evening. Welcome to another exciting edition of So Into Bourbon. I'm Glenn. This is Charlie. Charlie, why don't you tell them what we're doing tonight?
Tonight is Glenn's turn to be blinded. So I have two offerings here, and we're going to blind him, and we're going to see how it goes and see if he can discern what they are.
Okay, Charlie, so you've set up a blind for me once again.
I have.
Obviously, there's two bottles here, so I'm not quite sure what to think of this.
Well, there are two bottles here.
And that's all you're gonna give me, huh?
That's all I'm going to give you. So
Okay.
I will let you decide where you want to start. So these two glasses are for this bottle, and
Okay.
these two glasses are for this bottle.
Okay.
So
Can I ask one question?
you may.
Are these related at all in any way?
No, in the sense that I will tell you this. I
Okay.
will do more than you did for me.
No. If you don't,
No.
this is your deal. You decide how you want to do this.
They are both bourbon.
Okay. That was mighty nice of you to let me know that.
I'm a mighty nice guy. I will let you choose.
Let's start here.
All right. Oh, thank you.
Charlie has given me this beautiful crystal Glencairn from Middle West Spirits, which is a wonderful glass, but it kind of makes it hard to see the bourbon inside. So I can't really comment on. Oh, he just wanted to get the crystal.
Now you can comment on the color all
All right,
you want.
all right.
Watch this. It's kind of light.
Well, it looks a lot lighter in the crystal, to be honest with you, because it's etched. All right, it's kind of light. It's decent amber color. It doesn't look very viscous. It's running down the glass quite a bit, so it's got legs. It's got legs, Charlie.
Knows how to use them.
Shall we sniff?
Shine to it.
Now that
You okay?
there's some ethanol there. I don't think it's super high proof, but there's some ethanol there. It's got, as we often say, a classic bourbon profile.
It's a straight rye. It's bourbon.
That would be funny.
Do you get anything? Smell
I'm
familiar?
getting a little bit of that cola. Little cola.
Mm-hmm.
There's some caramel there. There's some fruit. A little bit of fruit.
I
Light fruit, not dark fruit.
think it has a pretty nice nose, honestly. Yeah. I mean, you're right. There is a little bit of ethanol, but it kind of burns off. I will tell you, this is a fresh pop.
Okay.
So if that makes a difference.
Which pretty much everything we do is fresh pop.
Because we're popping fresh.
It's a little bit of spice there. Yeah. Oh, let's try it. I love that. Bing. First thing I notice, very light mouthfeel. Not very viscous. It's crisp on the palate. Not much of a finish. I don't think this is very high proof. Matter of fact, I would go anywhere between 80 and 96. Overriding note that I'm picking up on the palate is caramel. There's some char there. There's a good amount of char.
Little caramel, little char. I tell you what I get is I get a sweet, corny donus kind of to it that I kind of like, almost like a cornbread dough, which is kind of weird, like kind of that dough sweetness, like a cornmeal sweetness.
I get the dough. I don't know if I can go with you on the cornbread part, but I get the
definitely
dough.
get some corn sweetness.
Yeah, it's not bad. I wouldn't, say it's blowing me away, but it's definitely not bad. It's a nice sipping whiskey or bourbon.
Well, I made this
you
myself.
did. It is a bourbon, so yeah, it's not super complex.
Okay. Any guesses? Anything stand out to you?
Gosh,
There's only like 7 billion bourbons. Pick one. Bourbon
If I
number
had
two.
to pick, if I had to guess, I'm going to say this is one of your shelfers. It's a shelfer.
Okay.
Big brand, mass production.
I made this last night in my basement, which I was hoping you would like it. We're going to release it, but no. Okay. All right.
It's a bourbon that sells a lot because it's very palatable, very pleasant.
Approachable, pleasant. Okay. All right. Okay. Bourbon number two.
Now this, I like the color on this one.
Yeah, it's a little
A little darker.
A little darker.
Clings to the glass. Really doesn't have much legs. Just it's looks a little more viscous than the first one.
Okay.
Okay. That nose is a little more complex. I'm picking up that kind of that wine note that I pick up on sometimes. There's a little spiciness on the nose.
I smell Rice Krispies and Fruity Pebbles.
Fruity Pebbles,
Just to screw with you. It smells like ceiling fan. Yeah, for sure.
I like this. That's a pleasant nose.
Okay. Pleasant nose.
I almost wonder if it's a finished bourbon.
All right, let's drink it.
Cheers.
See if you're right. While Glenn's doing that, I'm going to remind everyone about the So Into Bourbon web store, where you can get the official Make Bourbon Affordable Again shirt. That's right. A vote for So Into Bourbon, a vote for the bourbon economy 2024. They're great shirts. Everybody says it. I don't say it. Other people do. Link in bio. Go support So Into Bourbon. And hey, who's not going to be the most popular person on your distillery tour or on a Saturday at Lowe's?
No
Wearing
doubt.
that bad
No
boy.
doubt.
And this is high quality shirt. Tri-blend cotton. So Into Bourbon. Link in bio.
Vote for the bourbon economy. Vote
Vote.
with your dollars.
Everybody loves it. The rye drinkers, the bourbon drinkers, even those blended whiskey drinkers, those savage animals. There's good people on both sides, but what are you getting?
So this one's perplexing me a little bit. I feel like it's a little more nuanced than the first one.
Okay.
There's some oak on the end of it.
Oh. We got oak.
Let me go back in.
He's going back in. While he goes back in, I'm going to remind everybody about our beautiful microfiber golf towel available on the So Into Bourbon store. That's right. You like So Into Bourbon? You want to keep this train rolling? Buy some merch. That's right. So Into Bourbon.
This
What else
has
you
more caramel, more of that kind of a corny note to it.
You know, on blinds like this, you really have to put your thinking cap on,
Yes, you do.
which you
And
can
that's
see
a
our
beautiful
So Into
thinking
Bourbon
cap.
thinking cap available on a web store.
I hear people scrolling
Yeah.
and clicking over right
Yeah.
as we speak. So I don't know. These are both very. Once again, I don't feel like this is a very high proof bourbon.
Which do you prefer, one or two? Oh, there's some.
I think I prefer the nose on 2,
Okay.
the palate of 1,
Really
maybe.
interesting. I will let you pick which one you'd like to reveal to our viewing public first.
Well, let's go with number 1. Are we ready?
Ready?
Is this the Jack Daniels?
Incorrect.
Or Jim Beam. Jack. You know what's so funny about this, Charlie? I was looking for this bottle this week. I was going to buy this bottle and blind you with it.
Tell everybody what you have. Hold it up and show them what you got.
This is the Jim Beam Black. It's aged 7 years.
Yep. So this is the
new.
resurrected Jim Beam Black, which was extra aged. I think I've got a little baby bottle.
The
of it.
funny thing is, I was going to say Jim Beam, but I didn't want to put myself out there like that.
Yeah.
So I just said a mass-produced product.
You did pretty well on that one. So this is Jim Beam. This is the standard Jim Beam mash bill, 77% corn, 13% rye, 10% malted barley.
96 proof, right?
90.
Oh, okay.
This is 90 proof. So yeah, aged 7 years. So it's just the Jim Beam that you know and maybe love, but aged years longer than standard beam, and it's 90 proof instead of 80. Retail
good.
on that bottle, 20 to 25 bucks.
That's a good bottle.
It's pretty, again, I know everybody says in the bourbon economy, it's hard to find good bottles and this, that, and the other. It's nice to have a nice offering.
Dare I say,
Oh, he's dares.
this is the closest thing to a replacement for your Heaven Hill 6-year bottled in bond that you love so well.
Man, so you're jumping up in 10. You know what? That's going to be a great episode. You can blind me on them and see if I can pick out which one. So would you like to know what number 2 is?
I would like to know what
Pappy
number 2
Van
is.
Winkle 12-year.
Okay.
Whiskey Row series from Old Forester. This is the 1870 original batch. So standard Old Forester 72 1810. This is just the original batch, 90 proof. So,
You know, that's the one I've probably had the least of.
yep. I thought doing this, I just wanted to go 90 versus 90, right? And I thought we really like Old Forester. This is one that kind of falls kind of in the middle for me, where I'm not like, I don't dislike it, but I'm kind of take it or leave it on it. I was really surprised at how well this one stood up to this one, because this is a $25 bottle. This is a $40 to $50 bottle.
And once again, I liked the nose on this bottle. The palate, it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
It wasn't great.
But for me,
And I've had this before, and it was the same. I had the same reaction. It's okay.
So I really have a problem. I don't have a problem with this bottle, but for me and my taste, this kind of falls right in the middle of like why, because I'd rather have Old Forester 100 for half the cost,
For sure.
or maybe less than half the cost, than have this one. It does feel a little more oaky, a little more maybe nuanced.
Yeah.
But for $50,
It had some oak on the end. Is this mine? I want to go back to it now that I know what it is. I guess it doesn't matter, does it?
Keep yours over there. So yeah, the Jim Beam Black is an absolutely drinkable bottle of bourbon. It's sweet and corny with a little bit of oak at the end. Very approachable, very easy. And the nice thing about it is, if you want to just get it and, pour it over this much ice, or make cocktails out of it, or cook with it, or put it in ginger beer, you don't feel any sort of way about it because it's a $20 bottle.
The funny thing to me is, and this goes back to psychology and power of suggestion and marketing, is now that I know what that is, I get that, oh yeah, that's got that old familiar Old Forester. I think I still prefer. Do you mind? It's always interesting to taste them again after you know what they are.
So, no, thank you. I've still got a little bit. I know our blinds aren't always the easiest thing to watch or entertaining, and you probably fast forwarded to the end to see what they were, which is fine as long as you're watching and subscribing. But this is fun stuff that you can do with your friends, or you can have your wife do this for you, or your significant other, or a buddy. Just be like, hey, pick 2 bourbons on my shelf, or pick 2 things that I have that are both 90 proof. Just look at all the labels. Doesn't matter what they are. Or pick 2 things that say single barrel, and just pour me one each and drink them. And Glenn hit the nail on the head. Take psychology, the psychology of taking the branding and the marketing and the labeling and your preconceived notions out of it absolutely changes the way you feel about the whiskey in the glass. We just did an episode about K. Luke, non-distilling producer, a blender. They put out some pretty darn good bourbon and rye, and he makes his blends blind. He gets the barrels, they bring them down for him, and he just tastes them. He doesn't ask about the age, he doesn't ask about the mash bill, gets all that after the fact. But what does it taste like in the glass? And I think we could all learn a lesson from that.
Absolutely, I would agree. And after tasting the Jim Beam again, I feel the exact same way about it. It's pretty good stuff.
Jim Beam. It's our first episode of Jim. Oh no, it's not. We did a decanter. Yeah.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, but that was old.
And we're going to a Jim Beam.
We're going to a Jim Beam dinner.
Yeah,
that's
so
right. Stay tuned.
In June.
Yeah.
June 11th, I believe.
Yeah.
We're going to the Fraser History Museum in downtown Louisville. It's a Father's Day event, so Fred and Freddie know we're both going to be there. It's going to be a guided tasting. We're going to be tasting some stuff from Jim Beam. We're going to get to buy a special single barrel that was bottled just for this event. I'm excited about that.
Super pumped. Bringing you the hard-hitting content.
Absolutely.
That's what we're doing.
Jim Beam has a 18-year product they're putting out for the Kentucky Bourbon Heritage Month. Yeah. So I'm hoping that maybe we can taste that.
Very hoping.
I doubt it, but
Well, we're bourbon influencers, so I'm sure they'll let us taste
Oh,
it.
yes. We are influencing. All right.
Follow us on our socials. Instagram
So into bourbon.
and TikTok.
Whiskey Realtor.
And,
You just point and I talk.
all right, and
You know what? Keep your wallets loose.
your bunghole's real tight. Good night, everybody. Jim Beam. You pleased? You happy? So those are the same. Okay,
They're
ready?
the same. This glass always screws me
Yeah, I
up.
know.
Look how light it looks.
I'm going to let you drink out of
Okay.
the crystal. Ready? Action. Stop. Not cool.
What?
Trying to cup a feel and
No,
figure
I
out
was
what
trying to. Yeah, I'm going to figure out what it is from touching the bag.
Oh, I could.
You can touch my bag and figure out what it is. All
Hey,
right.
Try being serious, okay? I'm serious.
Why?
Like, because a lot of people are counting on us.
Okay.
Like,
You're right.
the five people,
We'll do it for the people.
the 5 people that watch this, they
Do it
want
for Ron and
Dave.
the guy who always makes fun of us for not being able to taste 50 different things.
And Yin's tube.
Yin's tube. All right. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Pickle.
All right.
Ham.
You ready?
Keep your head behind the back.
3, 2, 1.